most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Rouse About. On the show today, Darian, Irwin, which is a name that can be like mixed, right?
Yeah. I typically have the blackest name in a green room. Any given green room.
Speaking of blackest name in the green room, I had an American question. I don't mean to offend you, but
Yeah.
I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
And,
already, we're off to a bad start.
I know. That's what I want is a bad start. I don't mean to judge, but I think we both appreciate a bad start.
Yeah, right.
Because we've had so many of them.
True.
And I don't want to judge you by your haircut, but let me create a little scenario.
Sure.
You own a ranch?
No.
No,
I do. In the scenario, I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
you own a ranch.
Yeah, damn right I do.
And it's not a big ranch.
Okay.
This ranch it's pretty modest.
Yeah.
Home structure, pretty close to the earth.
Okay.
Solar panels, a little bit of a fence.
What is that?
Some chicken, stuff that you kind of just use for yourself.
Okay.
And there's some guy that lives about 5 miles down the road, and his son is, I don't know, an idiot, we'll call him. Okay?
All right.
And he likes to fuck around.
All right.
But he's not all there, and he's, between his mental health issues and his drug problem, he's become a bit of a nuisance.
Okay.
In the neighborhood. And
I feel like I know this guy.
You got wind of this.
Yeah.
You drove over to the guy's house and you tell his old man, you go, listen, I know your son's been fucking around and spooking the other farms, their animals and stuff,
Okay.
and causing a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I enjoy living in this area. I kind of keep to myself. But if your goddamn son
Right.
comes on my lawn, I will blow his head clean off.
Yeah.
Is that what you'd say?
Is that what?
No, because as a Canadian,
Yeah.
they would go, I'm calling the cops
Right.
if you guys keep pissing around. But you look like a guy who would exercise his Constitution rights.
You know what's so funny? I'm not that guy at all.
Huh. See,
Yeah.
I judged you by your haircut.
Yeah. No. This.
I
Also,
apologize.
normally I wear a hat. I'm just not out with the hat. Because I
Yeah.
actually wear the hat to make myself to try and not look. I'm aware of what I look like. You know
What do
what I
you
mean?
think I wear a hat for?
Because you don't have the top. Because you don't have skull on the top of your head anymore.
Well, that's the thing is I look like more of a deranged. Oh, by the way, every other time I use this fucking thing, I usually almost get in a fist fight with somebody.
Why is that?
I have no fucking idea, but somebody pisses me off, and a guy on his bicycle. I crossed the line, right?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty militant.
Yeah.
I'm not a driver.
Right.
A car driver. I've never driven a car.
Ever?
Ever. You're looking at a 50-year-old man who's never
But I
driven
think
a
we've
car.
talked about this before.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, I know. It's wild, right?
Yeah.
Well, I always paid attention to, good way to stay out of traffic is look at the laws.
Right.
Red light, stop,
Right.
line,
Okay.
something's coming the other way.
Right.
Dotted, you can cross.
Okay. So you know the laws.
I'm aware of them because I've had to cross the street on foot and not wanted to get run down.
Die. Right.
Yeah. It's not good. So, fuck. What were we talking about? You shooting that retarded kid.
Listen,
driving.
I've apologized for that already. I'm not going to backtrack again, you know?
Yeah. Well, you went over there 2
Right.
weeks before.
Right.
You gunned down his son in broad daylight. He was picking up on Amazon.
Which was my legal right.
Yeah,
Right.
But the sad part about the whole story is I didn't finish was
Right.
that because like this nitwit
Right.
who had a reputation of crossing lines,
Right.
literally, is now he's a simpleton. So he Amazon package that was supposedly delivered to you
Right.
ended up at his residence, and nitwit takes the package, hops the gate,
Yeah.
knocks on your door, and you shoot him through the door.
Right. Well, who was to know?
6 times, by the way.
Right.
Before
While
you
he was
hit the
running
ground.
away.
No, he just went back. This was a knock, and you just.
Just blew him away.
This shotgun was on. You, first of all, you know people,
Yeah.
and you know small town people, and they don't know boundaries until they cross them.
Right.
So you knew that shotgun was on the table, cocked. Okay.
Waiting for him.
Waiting for him. And then you finished your coffee
Right.
and didn't even open the door. There's
No.
2 frisbee-sized holes in a door that you handmade, by the way.
Yeah.
Most of the furniture you made.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's very nice. I made it.
It's very nice and practical, but and you got a cellar. So
Well,
this
listen.
guy ends up on a hook in your basement. And next thing you know, you're selling wallets at the next crafts festival.
Right. Well,
Jerry's. They're called Jerry's skin wallets.
I mean, in all fairness, I did warn the guy.
That's the whole point of it is that you
And that's
told
what
him-
that's what the judge said.
It's on his old man.
Right.
Get that kid on a leash. You know my temper.
Well, he should definitely have him on a leash now.
Hey, maybe this is the whole thing, is that he was trying to get an insurance deal on his disabled son and knew.
All right. Well,
Your
now we're going
reputation.
into. See, here's the thing now.
Oh, did you get a snoot of that trash can?
No.
Oh my, come here.
What?
Come over. Come here. Hang your head over that
I
can.
don't need to smell the
Yeah.
trash.
That is
That's
so
not good,
full of
dude.
dog shit.
not good,
Oh my
dude.
god. Oh, my poo alarm's going off. Oh, here comes my exes.
Holy shit.
They know we were laughing at them.
Yeah.
They go, look at that guy who's dying, walking with death. Those guys were shredded.
That is my favorite thing to do, is just to come down here and hold my chest and freak people out.
With an ice cream in the other hand.
Yeah. Ooh.
And then, bring the temperature. Doctor says I gotta cool down. But
Just
these
put it on my head.
gravy-sicles.
Crazy.
That's one thing. I haven't had a drop of alcohol in 7 years in December.
It's been about 7
And
hours for me.
I picked up a terrible ice cream habit
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. I know about, yeah. Terrible
Speaking
ice cream
of
hat.
hot blondes,
Right.
I leave for Denmark tomorrow.
Oh, really? I knew
Yeah.
you were going somewhere. I didn't know where you were going.
Yeah, I had a trip planned to go to Canada in September, but like you giggle about, Canada is up until about a week ago, they had vaccination passports, QR code stuff, apps.
So you had to be vaccinated to go?
To pretty much go. A lot of people were flying into Buffalo and driving over with papers and stories.
Right.
I've had mixed things from people who are just terrified to leave the city, to even go anywhere near an airport, to people that have driven over, took a flight to Buffalo and then walked over the border saying, look, what are you gonna do? Make me stay there?
Right.
I'm fucking from. What are you talking about?
That's crazy, man.
It's completely crazy. So, between
But they dropped that now, right?
just recently,
Just
I think
okay.
just in a couple weeks ago. But also that.
Are you vaxxed?
Hell no.
Hell no. Not just a no.
I am not a person.
No, that's true. We can stop there.
Yeah.
And stop, period. And
I
then-
was period. I was perioded. No, look, I don't like needles.
Okay. It looks like you love needles.
No, I always tell every time they draw blood every year,
Yeah.
the nurse comes out with the test and goes, I can't believe it, you're clean. I can't believe it. And then we start making out.
Yeah. I went to the hospital recently,
Bragger.
and it was pretty cool. It was
Well, it is because it's on your dollar. Where in Canada, it would be like, that's where you go to the emergency room on a Friday and just make friends with people.
Just hang
bleeding
out.
Yeah. But what was the circumstance?
well, I went to the I woke up with debilitating chest pains, and I thought this is probably it, right?
Whereabouts? On one side or across the chest?
No, just right in the middle.
Yeah. I've been
And,
getting something going like a strap.
All right.
Yeah, it feels like someone strapped my chest but it feels directly connected to the heart.
Right.
Anyway, let's not get into this.
Right. Well, listen.
Let's run as hard as we can with cigarettes in our mouths.
Yeah.
Show them who's boss.
Listen, I'm not ignorant to chest pain, you know. Anyways, I woke up with chest pains. I was freaking out. We went in, right, and they start doing tests.
It's
and
terrible.
Stuff.
Terrible.
It was terrible. I was scared. I was
Heart
really
disease
scared.
runs in my family, so I'm like wincing. I know.
Nobody runs in my family. Anyways,
Diarrhea runs in your family.
so we go, right. They start doing all the tests and everything. They do an EKG, and then they do like a full blood panel or whatever. And I'm starting to calm down and think, all right, if it was a heart attack, I'd probably
Was
be
the
dead
last
already.
time you had blood work done?
For that, a few years.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It's been a while.
Yeah.
The doctor comes back, and literally, this is what she goes, on paper, it doesn't even make sense how healthy you look.
Well, you're always active. I never see you like the fact that I ran into you here like
Yeah,
at
no, I do
8 o'clock
stuff.
at
Yeah.
night in a thunderstorm. I thought it was the only vampire out. We just looked at each other like run into a guy at the STD clinic.
I was as surprised to see you as you were to see me.
No, because I knew that you had some sort of exercise regimen.
Yeah.
And you probably want to go when you can't be distracted. And a walk in the rain, it's only the diehards and weirdos.
That's true.
So,
Well, in all fairness, I didn't know it was going to start raining. I was already 4 miles away from my car by the time it started. I had no choice.
yeah, I was out by Zilker Park and it dropped, and I wasn't even. I'm like, there's no even sprint now. We should actually slow it down because
Yeah,
we're
and
getting nothing but wet.
Yeah, just hang out.
It was warm. It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't
I
bad at
did
all.
laundry that day.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad at all. It's not my favorite way to walk, but it wasn't bad.
You're in the Austin comedy competition.
I am.
That's cool. I was Canada's funniest comic in 1998.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Come on. Look. I know that is a dated point of reference,
Yeah.
but it's still the same game.
oh yeah, totally. No, I totally
nothing
get that.
changes.
Nothing changes. Yeah.
When I say, and I highlight the word game because anytime there's a contest
Yeah.
for artistic ability,
Yeah.
there's fuckery.
Oh yeah, I don't care about this thing at all. Truthfully, there's been a
It's
few of
stage
them.
time to you in front of a good audience.
Yeah, but also, these things have never been, in my experience in comedy thus far, I've done numerous comedy competitions, they're inherently flawed. The
Yeah.
person who wins typically is never the funniest person there.
No, and there is a curse to the winner.
Yeah, also, yeah, so I
Usually
literally,
the guy who places fourth that everyone slept on.
right,
He tends to be the guy because the fuckery happens in threes. Let me just throw a theory.
yeah.
Okay. First of all, contest happens. They get all the sponsors in line. They have the meeting. They distribute the money, get the venues,
Yeah,
and then they look at the categories. Okay, we're gonna have a contest. We're gonna have an all-female show. Blah 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 blah.
whatever.
The contest. They look at the contest and go, okay, first prize, second prize, okay. What else? You know, Jerry's the funniest guy in town.
Right.
He's our guy. He's 22.
Right.
He's got a full head of hair.
Yeah.
And he's came out of musical theater.
Right.
And the female wait staff think he's great.
Real gay.
Half a fag,
Right,
quarter fag.
right.
Okay.
It's in there.
He's in such a tough town
Right.
that his campy theater stuff is looked at as oh, he's a goddamn genius.
Right.
Did you see the cartwheel that day? Right? Nothing behind it.
Right.
Then you've got the bartender who everyone looks up to for no reason, that also used to be a headlining comic.
Right.
That also has shares, some sort of financial bind between the club and himself.
Right.
Whether it be money or, hey, I bailed you out 10 years ago. Get me in the top 3.
Okay.
That guy.
That guy.
So those 2 spots are taken. Now the 3rd spot, which is the floater spot. This is the undeniable. This is the guy who gets a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And when they're announcing the winner, the audience goes, no!
Right.
That's the real winner.
Yes. Yeah. That's typically how it shakes down.
Sometimes that guy goes down to 4th.
Yeah.
Or he gets number 1.
Right.
So there's the lottery, there's the golden ticket in it, is that the people, I got nominated for an award, and it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And when they announced the winner, Dan Aykroyd actually said as he opened the envelope, don't worry about Jason, he's going to be a big star, blah, blah, blah. And then he said the winner, and the audience moaned. And I was like, wild.
Wait,
No one's ever bet on me.
Wow.
It was wild, but I rocked. First of all, I got Dan Aykroyd introducing me, right?
Right.
Which I'm like Kingston boy, Canadian guy, blues brother,
Yeah. That's
So,
amazing.
that's
the guy.
fucking Skull vodka,
Right.
the Dawn, know?
Right.
It's getting there, and I pleaded with them too. I asked the people that were picking on the board for the people that were placed for celebrity host intros and stuff. Do not. I must have Dan Aykroyd. Are you kidding me? No one else is worthy.
Right.
On the line. I made my ex-girlfriend stand next to him with a mini recorder and record him laughing. And but anyway, that contest situation, you win them, you lose them.
Well, I've been telling people. I mean, people have been coming up to me asking me about it, or other comedians, talking.
Well, they want you to win because if you lose, you'll just start pounding out a bunch of kids in the green room.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I've been
GoFundMe's for hospital things popping up all over the place.
But what I've been telling people is my attitude towards it has been, listen, this thing means nothing. The people who are going to have careers 10 years from now are going to have careers 10 years from now.
Yeah.
10 years from now, and the people who aren't.
Wait, how long have you been doing stand-up? 6 years?
About 5, coming up on 5.
5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good stretch.
Yeah.
Especially you've been in the turbocharged
Austin
comedy
scene,
Yeah.
Which has been a big, like a noticeable difference very quickly with just how much stage time there is here.
Did you get fired from the Vulcan?
No.
Because a bunch of people got canned.
I don't know anything about that.
You were out of town, right?
I was gone.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Like, look, it's how many times that you've ended up with shit on your shoes.
Yeah.
This time,
Nothing
I
to
was
do with me.
leaving
I
town.
wasn't even there, dude.
Wasn't even there. You must have went, whew, finally.
As far as anyone's concerned, I've got a great relationship.
Because you've been on trial, like,
I
on the show.
I had
on
one.
Kiltony.
Yes, I was
Yeah,
on trial
I was
once on the show, and ended up working out in my favor.
But
in a big way.
You apologized, but didn't apologize. It's like,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, come on, guys. What did you expect from me?
I was put up
I
to
was
slaughter
being
and
mean.
I got out. I actually looked
your
at
honesty saved your skin.
Yeah. Well, I also think, I think having known, Tony Hinchcliffe for a minute now,
Yeah.
and I have noticed the one thing that he does care about above all else
It's money.
is money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And absolute power and tyranny. No, he cares about funny more than anything else.
I know.
So he put me in a position, I think, that was very simple. It was either you're going to go down for this because you're not funny, or you can be funny and this is going to be fine. And I kind
Get
of
you
love
out
that.
of jail card.
Exactly.
And it was as simple as that.
and that's all it needed to be.
You literally, indirectly, could have ended your career that night.
Yeah.
In Austin.
Yes.
For a few years.
Yeah. I could have made it very hard. But
you were honest.
But also,
They were
I was honest and funny.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, you've had you do anchor yourself down. When you get on that stage, I found you have a look of try and move me.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of permanently on my face.
Yeah, but comedically,
Yeah.
you're like, run at it.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
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 You're like
That's
the pyramids
good.
in Egypt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You
In
can
a
come
lot
and
of ways.
visit.
A lot of ways.
Everybody gets diarrhea from the snack bar.
Yeah.
So you move from.
Tennessee, from Knoxville.
There's a bunch of I think that's probably the third tier outside of.
It seems
people
to be.
outside of Texas. Yeah, there's a lot
It
of.
seems to be. So
Tennessee
it was me,
guys.
Matt Boyd, who's now opening for Theo Vaughn, Casey Shornima, who was hired as an SNL writer this week.
Excellent. It's nice
Lucas,
being a hometown boy, right? Even if they were generational ahead of you,
yeah.
you're like, okay.
Well, this
that
is
guy.
what's crazy is this is all really my class.
Oh,
She's
okay.
not even.
Oh, so you need to get your shit together.
Well, that's true.
Walking through Cat Shit Alley
Yeah.
with Uncle Fuck.
Uncle Fuck. It does feel that. But then you've got Lucas, right? Who's unbelievably funny, running the
Oh, little Winston.
Winston Shaw.
Yeah.
He crushed on the Kill Tony episode in front of Rogan.
He did.
Trey came with us.
Uh-huh.
Very funny. You know, everyone.
Yeah, you're about 6 deep.
What?
Six deep.
Yeah, 6, 7.
Tennesseans.
Yeah. I think
About that, yeah.
A little more than that.
That's pretty cool.
But anyways, everyone from that class is like really doing shit.
Not very many people from the east, right?
No.
It was all west. It was all west. Like Texas over. Not very many New York. No, like Boston.
No, we got plenty of LA.
Well, that was the Joe Rogan butterfly effect.
Yeah.
But look, let's be honest. Everyone pisses and moans. But let's take a look at what permanent residents from Los Angeles
Yeah.
that have taken up root here over the last 2 years
Yeah.
would be, Joe,
Right.
Christina, Tom.
Yeah. All of whom are very close, deep friends of mine.
Tim Dillon to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Tony Redband and myself. See, that's the thing. You can't even say like the Death Squad. It's like a dirty word in this town.
Is it?
To the locals, the comedy fans are like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to us ever. You know how many people I meet that go, we went to 6 comedy shows this week.
Right. Yeah, there are a lot. Dude, I will say, as somebody, because I run an independent show weekly.
Look,
right?
there's my career. Yeah.
I run an independent comedy show weekly here. As a comic living in this town, it's the only town where it's like we all make money just putting on shows.
Yes.
And make like livings, good, like decent money. Or you just, and that's just
there
because
would be
of the scene.
3 guys in LA that would be able to do that, and they'd been at it in the city for probably 10 years.
Yeah,
plus.
it's not like, dude, people just move here, they put up a show, and all of a sudden they're making fucking whatever a year.
You got to go
crazy.
into debt to put a show on in New York.
Yeah, I bet, dude. I don't even know.
Your rent's $5,000 a month with 6 roommates, and you
Yeah.
live in the sink. And
Yeah.
you're lucky because
Yeah.
there's running water.
Yeah, fuck that, man.
Fuck that.
And I romanticize the idea of being a New York comic above anything else. But
Sure, walking to 3 gigs in one night.
Right.
Following legends.
Right.
Bombing after them.
Yeah, hell yeah. That sounds like so much fun, but that other part of it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Especially not when it's so good out here.
That's the thing.
If it sucked, it'd be like one thing, but it just is so good here, and you don't have to deal with any of that shit.
Plus the 2 years that you've been doing stand-up in this city. Sorry, how many years have you been here?
About a year and a half now, yeah.
Year and a half is you've got about...
It's like twice. It's like 3. It's like
4 times
Yeah.
more experience.
Yeah.
And I am only adding the 4th to that 3rd is because now you're also a comedy producer.
Yeah.
you wouldn't have really had that luxury in other.
No, I don't think. I don't think
coasts.
so. It's just because of the fans that are here, and that will go to just any show just to see what happens.
Yeah, and the fact that you're under that umbrella, working at the Vulcan and being in Austin, there's a trickle down to that. Like you said, you just did shows where? With Tony?
With Tony in Nashville?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
They didn't know you were there, and now
Yeah.
they're like, oh, shit. And then there's one kid in the audience going, oh, my God, that's like my favorite guy out of the show.
Yeah.
There'll be one weirdo, some
Wild.
dude
There was a
with
few.
no sex appeal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smells like cat
I mean,
piss.
real rough. My fans
And he goes,
look
you
real
can crash
rough.
at my house next time next to the litter box.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. And my fan base is litter box town too.
I'm fine. Listen, I'm fine with all of that. It is what it is. You know.
Yeah. What do you picture? Where do you picture you have? What's your first special? Your first special look like?
Actually, I don't think I'm gonna do a comedy special. I think I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna see if Netflix will buy a mukbang.
What's a mukbang?
Do you know what you don't know what a mukbang is?
Is that when you poo and fuck somebody at the same time?
Yeah. Well, no. I think that's
call
what
those
they call
brown
it.
weddings.
I think that's a European thing. No, it's
Muck wedding.
Muck wedding. No, mukbang is this isn't my joke would have been funnier if you knew what a fucking mukbang was, but it's
No one knows what a mukbang.
Dude, look it up. It's
I believe it. It's a sexual thing.
no, it's
Well, that's why.
I think
Is it
so.
a recipe?
For some people it is.
Oh.
It's the thing where you just these people they film themselves just eating an incredible amount of food in one sitting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is there purging at the end? Do they vomit?
No,
Oh.
not typically. Maybe off.
I like to see it go in. Because it's like a bit of a magic. You ever see a magician pull a rabbit out of a hat?
No, not
No?
actually. Not a rabbit. No. I did see a magician last night.
Pull his cock out of the bottom of a napkin. Hey kid, is this your cigar on the floor? It's his dick they take a napkin and they punch a hole in it and pull their half-hard cock out.
All right.
And they go, who wants the last stick of dynamite? And then the guy opens up his legs.
That's a pretty neat trick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's-
works when the bouncer says, can I see your ID?
Yeah.
And you open up a napkin with your cock hanging out of it. And you're going to count the rings. As you can see, I'm going to turn 51.
Yeah.
Because it's a 3/4 ring next to the scar, but the line runs through it, so you can't really make out what is actually going on in the timeline. But I'm clearly, this is a 19 plus, thing.
Yeah. You ever seen a dick like this on a 14-year-old?
And then the guy goes, check out my phone. He's like, look at that, there's my son and me rollerblading, holding each other's cocks. Yeah, it was a crazy time. Miami, you can do anything.
Yeah. The 90s, man.
How would you, I could see you moving to Thailand permanently
Yeah?
and being a big comedy star.
In Thailand?
Yeah,
I don't respect the people enough.
but what about the food?
The Thai food's pretty good. Have you been to Thailand?
I
Is it
lost my
fun?
virginity there.
It looks like it.
I fell asleep on the beach.
Yeah.
Look at the crane.
Why do birds hang out in the shittiest parts of the lake?
Because that's where the fish are.
Is that what it is?
They're eating the shit.
Birds gross me out.
Yeah, they're flying dinosaurs. They'll go right for your face.
Yeah.
What about this golden retriever who's about to hang at the biggest rat you've ever seen?
Yeah.
He's doing a hole hunch. I don't know what it is about dogs, but when I make eye contact with them, they relieve themselves. It's like somebody who just survived a plane crash and ended up with a white streak in their hair.
Right.
Except Mr. Whiskers here is about to pump out about $6 worth of cat food that he poached from the other pet's bowl.
He's not looking good.
No. Look at Rusty. And there's Goldie. They're all blonde dogs. It's like Hitler's wolf pack. Killed a crossing guard. Nashville. So what was it, a drive?
No, I flew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. The first plane, I had two interesting experiences. The first plane, I went to my seat, which was at the back of the plane.
Perfect.
Then they come over the,
Pardon me.
there you go. Somebody comes over the intercom or whatever and says, we're going to ask a couple passengers to move because we have to get the weight right.
Oh.
Right?
Did everyone just point at your face?
Pretty much. They came and talked to only me. And I had to get up from my seat. I had to get up from my seat and walk all the way to the front of the plane and sit down. And then they said, we're ready to go now.
You should have stood up and said, why? Because I'm gay?
I
would have thrown it for a loop.
Did. So that was fun.
Look, you're a comic. And like you said with the Kill Tony thing, with being, held out to dry.
Yeah.
It was a sink or swim. Now, you could have stood up and said, yeah, they're doing this to me because I'm gay, and start crying. It would totally, everybody would know how they would, look, all the gay rights people would join up with you and make it even crazier.
I should have told them I was trans.
You should have told them that you identify as an asshole and that I can't help myself. I'm a victim of my identity.
That's what I say to other people. I say, you identify as an asshole.
Well, people, I think, some of the politics that fall in line with their bullshit. Yeah, it's weird because there's all these different factions in tribalism with moral do-gooders. And I don't see. I know there's always a snake in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those religious groups. Look, Catholic Church is taking a beating. Okay?
They've dished it out pretty well as well.
Yeah, most definitely. Like any organized crime with an art gallery.
Right. That beating didn't just fall out of the sky.
What were we talking about?
Trans people.
Abuse inside of cults. Any organization has that Waco, Texas David Koresh thing.
Yeah. Well, I have actually a lot of
except that cult leader. Look, I bet you there was a bunch of people in that cult that were worse than David Koresh.
Yeah.
There was some sort of...
sure.
The guy, David was banging everybody's wife, but I don't think he was molesting their children.
No.
Right?
Right.
So you could leave.
Listen, so this is for me, this is actually a really personal topic. I grew up in what many, I will not call it this, but many people have described it as a religious cult.
Was it based on the Bible?
No.
No. There was no book of God around?
There was what you would call scripture, but there was no, but it was not the Bible.
Where did these scriptures, what were they drawn from?
They were written by one man.
Okay.
And his name was L. Ron Hubbard.
Oh, that's right. Well, I lived in Hollywood, so I'm hearing it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
So,
okay.
What is interesting...
As you know, Hollywood is the epicenter. Like the buildings there, I was blown away. The scale of the presence.
Well, they're the largest, one of the largest real estate holders in California. They are the largest real estate holder in Florida.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, well, so the headquarters is in Florida, in Clearwater.
Mm-hmm.
And then what would be the second headquarters is LA, that right on L1 Hubbard Way, all those blue buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, point being though, the David Koresh story is an interesting one where you kind of go, there's a lot of what he did that it was almost like this self-fulfilling prophecy, where there's a lot of what he was doing that made sense, and then there was a lot of ways he described what the outside world was going to do.
Yes.
That they sort of followed through with that.
His premonitions were very polarizing to, I don't want to say soft-headed, vulnerable people.
Yes. Yeah, yes.
Vulnerable people. People looking for answers. Like, yes, take my money. I just want to be happy. Take my time.
They don't look too deep.
Take my wife.
This sort of adds up. Yeah. You can sort of explain the whole thing
Strip me of
away.
all my monetary value.
Yeah.
And allow me to step into your light.
Now, as a fucking free American, am I not free to do that?
Yeah. Well, that was the big stink about Waco, right? Is
Right.
there was no real reason to send the FBI in
No.
to gun down and set a fire and kill all those people. You know, at the least, you know, you get a communication going and you just siege them out, you know, starve them out.
Or whatever. You good?
Yeah, I am. I just can't. I'm only getting a snooze. This is gonna go off again.
It'll be fine.
Fucker.
But also, the other thing I was going to say is within any organization, and this is especially true of the organization I grew up in. It's like from the top down. I think there's leadership, and then you have people below that are nefarious.
What's nefarious? Miscellaneous?
No, I'm just saying words.
Yeah. It had syllables.
No, but they had malice.
Oh, come and smell the dead animal.
Dude, I can't keep doing this.
Does it turn your stomach?
Well, no, it's just the whole idea that we went out and there's this beautiful day, but we're just gonna focus on cat shit.
So you don't want to. So you don't want to smell dead animals?
No, not this early in the day.
I know I got a problem.
Listen,
Listen,
I'll live a life, but it's still, you know what I mean?
I just am so drawn into unpleasantries.
Yeah. That's fine. It's the
why
other
do you-
half of the world.
Why do you wind me up before I go on with get 'em?
Get him.
Yeah. You've seen what's happened to me down here over the last year or so.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of shows at the Vulcan.
Yeah. It's
Some
been
stuff at the
it's
Green-
been interesting.
I was talking to somebody else outside of the state about them moving here and seeing me for the first time and having like okay, I'm not going to run into any problems with censorship as long as this asshole's around.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
You can always go, Jason did it.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot I'm afraid of saying if you're next. I'll be honest with you.
They're actually moderately relieved.
Yeah.
This guy's not going to come at us. Where I could easily have hopped from the stage in the audience at any moment.
Yes.
The front row is like this, just in their seats.
It's something, it's definitely, especially, even as a comic, it's very jarring the first few times you see it.
Yeah. Jarring, most
Yes.
definitely.
Yes. But in a good way.
Joe actually barely shoots me on stage. He swings around to the side to catch the front row
Yeah.
reaction shots.
You have to.
And he always come over. Yeah. Joe has single-handedly documented the Austin comedy scene
Yeah.
in photography. You got to figure
He has.
how many shows that he has folders on
Yeah.
of all of us. Like when you die,
Soon.
Joe, one of Joe's photos are going to be in your eulogy.
Yeah, that's true. I can't imagine not at this point.
This is Darian at his best and his happiest.
It would be here.
2024.
It would be here. Let me ask you this. Do you think about dying? Do you think about death a lot?
Lately,
Yeah.
yeah, constantly. I've so much so that I come from a look at this gorgeous butterfly.
Oh, wow.
Fucking that dead animal.
Come on, man. You could just have it one moment.
Hey, put your head back and get one of these brown martinis from the bats.
Oh, God, dude.
There's bats up there. Yeah, I try and manifest a physicality in my mind
Okay.
of what I'm going to take my next journey in.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that falls under any kind of Buddhism, and is probably just as kooky as Branch Davidian or Scientologists with spaceships and afterlife.
So you
scenarios.
think like reincarnation? You think that's what happens?
You know, I think that our molecules have memories and information in them,
I agree with that.
and when they're put together, they form magic in between these atoms.
Yeah.
It's unexplainable
Yeah.
thing that happens between these two things.
Yeah.
But these are also things that we've adapted to a level of where we can measure things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Temperatures and things under magnification and length and depth and all the other math that I'm clearly unaware of.
So you think there's some sort of entity or energy that makes the particles of the universe that are currently you?
See, I think it's a lot like this water, but I'm not aware of what the shoreline looks like.
Right.
And I think one shoreline leads to another ocean,
Okay.
which could mean, but I guess it, and I don't think a good and bad scenario dictates what kind of situation, and maybe your consciousness is reduced to something that's half the size of an ant. But
Yeah.
then maybe the consciousness of an ant is way more advanced than what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Who knows?
So I can just kind of take hallucinogenic drugs as more or less like prep work for
Yeah.
some sort of transition
Yeah.
that I don't really are going to have any say on, or when or how.
Right.
Well, we all have a say as long as we have this.
You could have a say if you
consciousness.
wanted to.
Sure, a lot of comics have had a say.
Yeah. Which is not, I don't know, not the craziest, not really the craziest idea, in my
Well,
opinion.
this is the thing is maybe the anxiety and the chemical response to somebody that's about to execute themselves
Yeah.
might dictate the energy that you manifest in yourself that would change your.
You think that could dictate the next step?
That could, I think, look at, you put electricity in water and it changes it, you know?
Right.
So,
You know, this is interesting. This is, I don't know if this is gonna make sense to you, but so if you watch like an antelope get eaten by a lion, the antelope normally at a certain point is really mellow.
there's an acceptance.
There's an acceptance, and they think,
But you
from
know,
what I understand, that part of the chemical response to being eaten by a lion is the release of androgynous.
No, endorphins.
No.
Androgynous means that you have no sex appeal.
Right, but the
Oh, not so clever now, old thesaurus Tammy.
no. What was the word I'm looking for? It's DMT that's native in the brain,
Yeah,
made in the brain, right?
yeah.
So they think
In
that
your
the theory is
pineal gland.
right in your pineal gland, right? So
It also gets calloused, you know that.
What do
There's
you
a
mean?
lot of theories through all this pasteurized foods and processing. It's left us with a callus over our pineal gland.
really
Yeah, and it's also in the shape of an eye. It looks like a bird's beak with an eye in it.
right.
Ew, it looks like Boomer's asshole a little bit. You've seen Boomer's asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, my point being though, so they think the acceptance that you're seeing is DMT being released in the brain, right?
Okay, we got baseball bats. When this guy comes out on the bat. Yeah,
So what I
I'm gonna
don't
try that
want-
again. Do you mind holding this for a
Yeah.
second?
Can you not unlock it? Oh wow.
Open phone.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please say
What that is. difficulties.
Anyways, what was the point of this?
Pineal gland.
Yes. So they think when you're in a situation of when your body understands it's going to die, it may be that's when the natural DMT in your brain is released, and that chemical is used to help you phase into that next whatever that means, right?
That's
which
the
is
thing.
why, but
Phase would mean that you were going from one place to another. You're assuming that there's a bridge.
maybe not.
Because
Maybe
it's
not.
a chemical response.
Well,
It could be a light switch.
Well, the point that I'm making though is that I don't want to do DMT. I don't want to do. That's the one that I don't want to touch.
I have friends that said they're afraid to death now.
After doing it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. I don't necessarily. That's not. I don't want to experience that chemical until I. If you need it in that way, I don't want to. Dude, I mean, what if your tolerance is too high, or something? You know what I mean? I don't know. But that's just the one that I don't want to fuck with until it's time.
But you also have fear of death
Already.
So you just you're assuming that if you put your toe close to the fence,
Yeah.
that it's going to exasperate your concerns.
No.
Have
No,
you ever
I don't think
taken
that-
acid before?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Huge amounts.
There you go.
Yeah, huge amounts. No, I'm not. I don't think I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of just not being able to process the death chemical correctly when it's time. But also, they could be completely wrong about that. You know what I mean?
And then again, your body's left for firewood.
Yeah.
If there is a trail, what does reanimation look like? Because if there's a forward, then there's a backwards.
Yes.
There
must be.
There must be, right? But what is the all-time
No, maybe there's
question? If you could reanimate someone's body, do they inherently gain that energy in between the molecules that has the information? How do you reactivate it? But then when space and time don't mean anything, the library's always open.
not. Right.
So as far as we can imagine, but I think this will all be clear. You're talking from the perspective of your physicality now.
Right.
What would your consciousness look like 50 years from now? And what would be the next step to a DMT equivalent of searching that other outreach? Okay, I'm a robot guy
Right.
with a meat brain,
Right.
and I'm 200 years old.
Yes.
I've had a series of upgrades and oil changes.
Yeah.
Society as a whole is kind of like me. I'm a couple years behind, like the iPhones.
Yeah.
But I'm also, my contract is up with the company who owns my metal body.
I mean, this is the fucking saddest. But also probably so close to what we're headed toward.
Yeah. And you've got your job responsibility in the manufacturing plant. They're going full automative, and the robots with the consciousness have slowly
Become
been
obsolete.
reduced. They don't need, when you robot and you have no use for your arms and legs anymore, that you can operate your job. Now you're you're a toaster in the wall.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
With a ham sandwich in it.
But also just I don't need my toaster to fucking think.
Hey, but
I mean,
what
what
is
a-
thinking? Maybe when you take on this metal body, you get on the world consciousness, which allows you to have access to special Groupons, oil changes.
I don't think your consciousness can be transferred. I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible. I think you can maybe.
What about a copy of it?
You can make a copy, but the thing is that stream of consciousness will still end for the meat body side.
Maybe that's a deal that you can do in the future, is that your family, you know how you have a college fund?
Yeah.
That the family puts family money aside, which means that as far as their contractual body, their meat body,
Yeah.
that they get the robot dad with the flesh hands in the face.
Yeah.
With the dad
With
copy.
the download, yeah.
Yeah, the copy.
So you can keep him around for a while?
Yeah, he's got everything, all dad's quirks and experiences with none of the memory.
I think maybe all that'll work, but I think...
and you just get unplugged. Your
well,
spouse
I just think
unplugs you.
I think our society will end. I mean, that's the type of shit that I think, like, is probably possible, but, like, that's the type of shit that, like, if as a civilization, if you can navigate that correctly, you'll survive. But if you do stuff like that, and you let that run rampant, I think that eventually ends our society. People have to die and go.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the thing is, they're going to do the math, and they have been since day one, of like how many square miles to how many shitheads.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. But I think even just mentally for the function of groups in a family, you can't have one. Could you imagine if the patriarch of every family
though,
just
what's
never
a family?
died?
Have you ever dated anybody in the last few years?
I'm married.
No one wants a family. Everybody's just transient whores.
That's true.
It's
There's a lot of
like
that.
just come on something to feel alive.
Well, there's still people out there doing it, man.
Yeah, there is, but I think all those traditions, like marriage,
Yeah.
and long-term partnership,
Yeah.
the turnover's too much, man.
Yeah.
It's you are in and out within the hour
Yeah.
on everything in life.
Yeah.
You could literally wake up with 200 text messages going, "You're fucked."
Yeah. That sounds. Wow.
But you were out of town. You were out of town.
Yeah, I was.
I was fine. Once. Just once a year, right? Just not. I don't want to be on the business end of bullshit.
Yeah. No,
You were
definitely down.
on stage. You got pictures.
Yeah, I got great pictures.
So there you go. You got proof.
Yeah, I was.
You might want to bring that up. Hold a photo of you going, I was out of town. The reason I'm explaining this is because of, well, it's the first time I get to brag about not being in a shitstorm.
It's not my fault. Oh my God.
Well, how many months have you been there? 8?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there. It's been a lot of fun, man. I can't wait to move over to Rogan's Club when that opens.
Are you applying for a position, or?
Tony has secured one for me. So I will be a door
all
guy.
off your confession,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, right?
Yep, exactly.
And
right.
didn't he say? And that's how you get a job at Joe's new club, or something like? Did he say?
He said, if you're honest with me now, I'll take you with me to Joe's Club.
Yeah.
And then he got the thumbs up from Curtis.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Wow.
It just happened like that.
Wow. I didn't even understand.
Look, first of all, you started comedy 3 years ago, right?
Yeah,
Sorry.
about 4.
Okay, let's say 5 years ago, someone
Yeah.
tapped you on the shoulder and go, "You're gonna work for Joe Rogan?
Yeah,
at
dude.
his new comedy club."
Dude, it's
And you're
unbelievable.
like, "Doing what?" He goes, "Oh, you're a comedian." What?
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty rad.
Oh, it's so cool, man.
And
And
the-
at the time when it was happening, it did like when I was on stage and he was saying all this, it didn't register what a big deal this was. It wasn't until I got off. And I was
No.
like, holy shit. Like that's why I moved down to Austin, was for that. And it just happened.
100%. And it just happened, you know. But you've been under everyone's feet since you got to town smartly.
Yeah.
You've been, every time I turned around, you were somewhere at a show or
Yeah.
working at the club and stuff.
I got nothing else to there's nothing else I want to do.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
you'd be surprised how many people don't know how to make that decision.
Yeah.
Is you have to be in a situation where, no, I'm not going on a holiday.
Right.
What the fuck are you talking about? I'm
This
up
is-
here in quicksand.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
trying to
nothing
get this boat out of
nothing
the
else to do.
sandbar.
It's all hands on deck. There's no You're totally right. That's what it is. The ship is sinking, and then you have somebody being like, we should take a break. And you're like, are you out of your mind?
Dude, we've just lost, the motor fell off the back and we're going down.
Yeah. It's not time for a smoke break, dude.
Grab a bucket or get out, because
Yeah.
you're sinking me here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm taking on water. This is all I could buy.
Yeah.
It's this paddle boat that leaks in the back.
Inflatable.
It's
And it has holes in it.
inflatable. And it's an air mattress in the middle of Lady Bird Lake.
Yeah.
And there's cat
A storm
puke.
coming, dude.
You're trying to put Band-Aids over the holes. Yeah.
That's what it feels
Oh
like.
yeah, definitely. And the storm always comes.
Yeah.
And you're face down in a bathing suit with one flip-flop on an air mattress in the ocean.
Yeah.
And people are standing on the shoreline where the sun has hit the beach.
Yeah.
And they go, you gotta try these mangoes. And you're like, I got jokes to tell. That way. Paddle, and it's just you. And then you're like, you look back over your shoulder and you're like, fuck.
And most of your
Oh,
friends,
my flip-flop
Yeah.
fell off. That's all I had.
most of your friends die along the way.
Those
like
guys
either
drowned 2
liter-
days back.
They either literally or they just quit comedy.
Yeah, but that's called you throwing them out of the boat.
Right.
Did you just tell me you quit? Yeah, I'm done. Out you go.
Out you go.
I got enough friends. I left them in high school. It's over.
Yeah. But that's the other thing too, is it's like you say you got to make that decision. It's also what I've noticed is that it's not so much a decision as it is just a natural. That's not a conscious decision I have to make. There just is nothing else I'd rather do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you have the luxury of the approach of this is all I have to do. I have the luxury of reveling in this.
Yeah.
Why not revel in it? Because you have to, really, because you'll look back and you only remember the good stuff for the most part.
Yeah.
And you may as well have a good backstory.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I was depressed for 5 years and I went up once a month, but I'm back.
No, fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
There's also no reason to. I mean, dude, it's if you get in it. And the cool thing about Austin, dude, if somebody right now is in the Austin scene and you're complaining about the scene in some way, you're a fucking idiot.
No shit.
You just don't know what you're talking about.
I don't do Kill Tony. Really?
You're retarded. You're just retarded.
The circus has come to town and you ain't going on any of the rides?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Says somebody who's never done the show. But the outlet of that and the opportunity, like you've really got a crash course in show business.
Yeah. Very fast. From
Just
the best.
From that show.
From the best. Yeah.
See, all these guys are trickle down disciples of Mitzi Shore.
Right. You're
And
right.
Mitzi's handbook on how to. Oh, I thought that was a dead flower pot. On what good comedy is they could never master what she'd done,
Yeah.
but they can imitate it. And there's some really good truths in the approach of how these guys vet the talent here.
Yeah.
And
Well, like I said, I mean, it becomes if you're really paying attention. A lot of people like to pay attention to the smoke and the shit that doesn't matter. But if you're really fucking paying attention to what Tony values, like I said previously, it's funny, and that
yeah,
must
get your
come.
head out of your ass.
Yeah.
And take a look.
Yeah,
People are so blinded by themselves and how they feel.
yeah.
And no, that stage is not where you bring your
Feelings,
angst.
or yeah, dude.
My gripes.
There's an audience. They're here to also like. And Tony, working with him this weekend, he also understands there's not like these people here. They're here. They fucking paid. Most of them worked today.
And they're
Like,
in
this
the
isn't
great
a-
mood too.
they're in
They
a
start
great
off like hot. They
Right.
go nuts. Like that last show with Dr. Drew.
Yeah,
Holy shit, did they erupt?
yeah. But it's also like, so they've all made the effort to come out here and be entertained.
He's pointing. He's a pointer. He was just doing a point because there's birds over here. How would you like to have your DNA so fucked up that if you saw an owl take a shit, you'd point at it with your entire tail? Sorry. Yeah, not to underestimate. But look, you know how it is. It's like, it's high school mentality to the degree of, oh, fuck Austin.
Well,
But
it's just
if
like
you're
if
a
you
comic-
get called up and you go on the stage, and you've got all those people there. They've paid. They're there to be entertained. And then you go. It's just selfish. It's like you bring in your shit and your complaints about. It's just also not. It's just not fucking. I don't know.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. Go be fun. Go be funny. If you're funny, also, it's crazy how much with those guys who complain and aren't funny, also don't realize how much you can complain if you're somebody who's really funny.
Yeah, look at Bill Burr.
Or but even just people within the scene. You can comment and say shit about if you're just hilarious,
Yeah.
people then will listen to you.
Yeah.
But it's like if you're not funny and you're complaining, I don't even know why you're here.
Oh, I know. That's where I would love to have just, there's no cops to police that.
Well, the good comics should be the ones. Well, actually,
Yeah.
there's no policing
It's on
that's
you.
needed. There's no policing that's even really needed because those fucking people,
They're
they
annoying.
either fucking wash out or we all know to avoid them like dog shit.
Yeah.
You know?
They totally wash out. There's no way around it.
Yeah. Unless you're a complete, just insane person.
Yes. Which is a high percentage rate.
There are some.
How have you not strangled anybody? Like, I could see.
I'm so not physical, it's not even funny.
No, I know, but like, people also are line crossers here. Like, you get into conversations
Yeah.
with people that
Yeah.
say, and they're just like, they're so separated from the idea of being thrown off a bridge.
Right. Yeah, that's, but also there's I think there's a lot of that in me. I've noticed that recently about myself. Like, I'm willing to say shit to people.
Well, you're kind of over being not authentic.
That's true too. I'm
You're
done
fed
with that.
up with.
I'm done with
you
that.
You played the first 6 months. Okay,
Yeah.
I got to meet people.
Whatever.
I'm going to be professional. I'm going to show on time.
No,
But
I
now
got
you're
none of
like,
that left.
hey, all the guys I respect speak their mind.
Yeah. Also, I just don't have any of that fucking. I don't have any ladder climbing left. Like, I just don't fucking want to do. Like, I don't have any. Like, I have these conversations with people where they're like, you just got to get in front of this fucking booker or fucking. What was there? Fucking.
There's a
dinosaur over
lion
here?
killing a crocodile, but it's a homeless guy having a shit behind a fence. It smells the same.
God, Jesus Christ.
Oh, they're doing some sort of groundskeeping
Clean up
here.
or
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah. See, that guy. Look, let's take a look. Let's take a little reference here. That's his job.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You're trying to be a comedian.
Yeah. It's the job.
That guy's job sucks.
Right. Yeah.
That guy's never going to be funny. Or
I'm
maybe was.
Or yeah, just but also.
Let's go laughing.
I was talking to somebody about this when I was at the airport, where I was just like, dude, the other thing, it's like I'm broke right now, you know what I mean? And it just is what it is. But it's also like I'm at the airport, I'm looking at all these fucking people, and it's just like,
For whatever reason, my alarm won't stop. I don't know what the fuck.
I look at all these people and I'm like, fucking maybe they're doing all this, you know, maybe they're making more money or whatever, but it's just like, it's actually pretty rare that somebody gets to live their life pursuing what they want to do.
And all the pitfalls that come with it.
Yeah, it doesn't always work out. It's not meant to.
As being an independent artist for 20 years, it doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
Which I've learned. And I knew that from the beginning. But I had to figure out how I was going to manage the stress load without being depressed to a degree where I was like, I got no way out. There's no way. No. Like, you know what I mean? The
Right.
dark spots.
Right.
And just hunkered down.
Right.
All hands on deck. Pull in every resource I can to dig myself out of what I can. But sometimes there's months and even years where you're bummed out, and you can tell by some of the local talent. that
Yeah.
Most of them couldn't do a summer of depression.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can count on that as a comic.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can count on a slow time of the year when a series of pitfalls show up.
I'm getting much better at handling the
Yeah.
roller coaster. You know.
Yeah, well, now you got a little bit of a scope of what you entails for your future, and
Yeah.
okay, there's a kind of a goal. That's a direction that way.
Right.
Okay, I'll just cut up the middle until we hit pay dirt.
Right.
Which is smart. Like, it's a long game. It's
Yeah.
a long game thing. You know.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is the runway is so long that I'm not stressed about it. You know, it's
No.
like they're also like all. I have a lot of friends getting a lot of things right now. And then
Things.
I have a lot of friends.
You said it right. Those are things right now.
Right.
Yeah, things.
But it's also just like it's very easy to like. I have a lot of friends not getting a lot of things, right? And it's very easy to get caught up in what is being gotten and what it's not being gotten. But the way I look at it is, there's going to be so many up and downs for so long. You have no idea now who's going to be big 10 years from now. And a lot of people who are getting these things, they're just the first of us.
How would you like to be a getter and then become terminally ill?
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah, who fucking knows? That's
Right?
the other thing. Is like we just
You're
live on
talking-
Earth. You can just
yeah.
get wiped off the face of it
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. You know, I don't even want to go through the list of things that would completely cut you out of being a stand-up comic.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a laundry thing, like, and then you're subjected to a life where you're in a wheelchair or whatever in a hospital bed, and you were stressed out about funniest comic in Austin.
Right. It's just
Crying
dumb.
now because
It's
you
just
pissed
dumb.
it. You go, why was I so upset about that? It means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And then the nurse comes in and just blasts you with some fucking fentanyl.
Yeah.
Take me down to the whales are pretty, and the heroin is pretty. And then you puke because it's after surgery.
Yeah.
And you puke, and there's 4 condoms on the floor with shit on the inside.
Oh my God.
And
dude.
you've realized not only have you been violated and assaulted, but the nurse is trying to drug you to a degree of slipping into a coma. So now you're fighting off the fentanyl dose in the IV bag.
Yeah.
And you're also a little distraught about your torn anus and the puke on the floor with 4 shit-soaked
Yeah.
condoms. Shit on the inside. Did I specify that earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, say la vie.
Does that mean goodbye in French?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Have you ever been to France?
it's French for sometimes you get fucked in the ass. Wow.
Well, bonjour, madame.
You know?
I think you'd like France.
You think I like French?
I think you'd like France.
Oh, France. Yeah, I don't know.
Because it would be so abrasive to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because everything's nice and dainty and sweet and taste. There's nothing, no American size anything.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's
yeah.
kind of
I hate that.
quiet. And don't you have any aspirations to plop yourself down in places in the planet that really have completely nothing in common with you?
Yes.
What
yes.
would be the most other side of the planet destination that you would pick?
I think. I mean, you know what's interesting? I don't think there's a lot of rural China. I think I'd be interested in going.
Okay, Great Wall stuff,
Yeah.
or the food.
The deserts. I mean, just not. But I have no interest in any major Chinese cities. In fact, or the idea of going there is kind of gross. But you know, just because of the people, really. And that's a joke. Come on, dude. No, I think parts of Asia.
What's
I mean,
the
I
attraction
want to
to
go.
Asia, though?
I want to go everywhere. Well, it's not just Asia. I want to go to Europe too. I want to, you know, I'd love to go to Italy for the food.
Oh,
You know, I've
yeah.
never been to Europe. I would like to just travel, but at the same time, with what we were talking about earlier, I also don't give a fuck. Like, I would just want the next joke right now.
yeah.
You know. So
Yeah, and if you have to do that in Hong Kong or you have to do it in Scotland, it don't matter.
I'd love to go
Yeah.
out there and do comedy. But I'm also in a situation where it's not as easy for me to do that. I am married. You know.
Yeah.
I do have a second half.
Do you have a child?
No child yet.
Whew. Try and stall that out for a few more years.
I'm working on that.
Just say, honey, 3 years,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
I just got to get my other foot up on the edge of the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's in
Or leave her.
The beautiful thing about her, well, the beautiful thing about her is she's really on board, and she sees that comedy really makes me happy, and we'll figure it out. even if it doesn't make money. So
Well, this is the thing is, she's like probably looking at it like this. Go, well, we'd be trying to navigate life together,
right.
through whatever we're gonna do. I may as well have a happy husband.
Yes. Yeah, she's
Right?
that's how she
It's
thinks.
way
It's awesome.
easier.
It's awesome. It's really it's I'm so lucky in that regard.
Yeah, especially if it's happened for the she's been on board since you've started. There's no real surprises coming to her now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just
And I'm in a place now where, I mean, when I started, man, I was driving 2.5 hours one way to Nashville,
Do 5
3
minutes.
or 4 times a week
Yeah.
to do open mics.
Yeah, that was me. How many hours drive?
2.5 hour one
Yeah.
way, 5-hour round trip, 3 or 4 times a week to do open mics in Nashville. Open mics, not fucking shows where I'm making $25.
And you got to
Literally
sit
nothing.
around for 3 hours to wait to go on because you had to miss traffic and you had to leave at noon to get there for 3 to eat and then wait.
Exactly.
And now this is a 40-hour work day for me to do 5 minutes.
Yes, and I did that for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
right.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
But also, that gave me a huge advantage because the other thing is like there was real pressure to not bomb, because if I bomb, now it's a 2.5 hour drive home, having to deal with just bombs, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
I know, by yourself. Too.
By yourself, and it's the 4th time you've driven to Nashville that week, and you're out of fucking money, and now
I'll be honest with you, none of that's gonna change.
I know. Well, I'm also realizing that now. The stakes just get bigger.
Yeah.
But
then they call you and go, hey, listen, can you come and do the Melbourne Comedy Festival in Australia?
well, shit like that's starting to happen. So, like, from my wife's perspective, she sees a lot of progress. So it's not like it's also a thing where I think if it was a complete dead end for me, I'm smart enough to know this isn't I'm never gonna be this. But I'm starting to see flashes of like, no, I am comic.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
It is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Or maybe not supposed to be, but it's what I want to do and I can accomplish it, so this is what we're going to do.
And that is, that's what I explained to Jared, is that, the Kill Tony show, what it's done for Hans,
Yeah.
William Montgomery,
Yeah.
David Lucas,
Yeah.
Michael Lear,
Yeah.
has you get to see some there's a lane for you guys for the first time.
There's a guy playing a recorder over there on heroin.
Where? Oh, he's over there. Ah, the acoustics. There's a guy that usually hangs under the bridge that plays the harmonica with his asshole. Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's my agent. Our battery's low, but we're gonna go to my house and smoke a joint.
Let's do it.
Okay?
Down.
Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for having me, man. This is great.
We're gonna do this again. I'm really looking forward. We should pick this up in 12 months.
Let's do it.
And I think your life is gonna be significantly different.
I hope so.
You're gonna have a lot of scratch. I'm gonna see this. I'm gonna walk up to the door at Joe's Club. You're gonna be there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna look at you, and we're both gonna go, this is fucked. And you're gonna go, come here.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. This is fucking crazy. I'm living my dream.
Yeah.
And my wife's pregnant, and I've got ratings at the club.
Yeah.
Right?
It's gonna be great.
It'll be fun. Darian, where can people find you on the internet?
Darian Irwin Comedy on Instagram is the best way. It's the best way to find me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you for watching.
We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.